Transmission lines, line sections, series on transmission line theory, lecture number 1.40. Pieces of transmission lines, they find a variety of applications like load matching, load measurement, etc. In the present session, we focus on three important line sections, namely eighth wave line, quarter wave line, and also a half wave long line. Before going to the lines for their investigation, the concept of input impedance and various expressions that are available, useful to find out input impedance, all these things are considered. As already mentioned, our focus in the session is on eighth wave line, quarter wave line, half wave line. These are pieces of transmission lines, lossless lines. Out of all, impedance properties play significant role in understanding their behavior. Input impedance is introduced, it is defined and explained before we go to the study of these line sections. Input impedance of a line can be defined as the ratio of complex phasor voltage to complex phasor current at its input terminals. Let us suppose there is a line like this. It may be terminated over certain impedance. It doesn't matter. The input impedance is the property of input terminals, source and terminals. Let us suppose certain amount of voltage exists at the input terminals and certain amount of current is entering. With respect to this voltage and current that is there at the input terminals, input impedance is defined. It is indicated usually by Zin. In stands for input. Z stands for impedance. Input impedance Zin is V in. Current voltage at the input terminals, I in. Current at the input terminals. So input voltage by input current. Here V and I are phasors. It is a complex quantity. Its value is dependent upon the configuration, length, termination of the line. For a general line and then for a lossless line, the input impedance can be found as Zin is equal to, this is for general line, Zin equal to Z0 characteristic impedance, ZL terminating impedance plus Z0 tan H hyperbolic tan. Gamma is propagation constant, L is length of the line, divided by Z0 plus ZL tan H gamma L. When the line is lossless, this becomes somewhat simpler one. Now Zin is Z0 ZL plus J Z0 tan beta L. Hyperbolic tan, now it is converted into tan, ordinary tan function. And also gamma is now replaced by beta. Of course, for lossless line, alpha attenuation constant is 0. Gamma in general is alpha plus j beta. Alpha is attenuation constant. In case of lossless lines, attenuation is 0. Therefore, gamma becomes j beta. In transmission line theory, the impedance of a line or load divided by characteristic impedance of the line is called normalized impedance. In transmission line theory, normalization is not specific to transmission line theory. We do it in antenna theory also, but their normalization is with respect to maximum value. But here in transmission line theory, normalization is done. Normalization means with respect to characteristic impedance of the line. Normalized impedances, the impedances that are given in the previous slide, they are ordinary impedances in ohms, but input normalized impedance Z, small z in, by definition it is Zin by Z0. It can be shown it is equal to ZL normalized load impedance tan H gamma L by 1 plus normalized load impedance tan H gamma L. This is for general line, lossy line. This transforms into a simpler expression when the line is lossless. As already mentioned, gamma becomes j beta. When you use j beta in place of gamma, this hyperbolic tan becomes j tan beta. That expression now is Zin is ZL plus j tan beta L by 1 plus j ZL tan beta L. Here ZL is normalized terminating impedance. It can be very easily shown input impedance is Z0 tan H gamma L. In case of shorted line, it is equal to Z0 cot H gamma L in case of opened out line. In the previous slide, we have seen Zin, that expression contains ZL. What happens to Zin when ZL is 0 or when ZL tends to infinity? In case of shorted line, ZL is 0. In case of opened out line, when ZL tends to infinity. Now, in case of shorted line, Zin is, it is usually indicated ZSC, it is Z0 tan H gamma L. This is general expression. It is applicable for lossy line. In case of opened out line, ZOC is Zin when ZL tends to infinity is Z0 cot H gamma L. In case of lossless line, of course, gamma is J beta, resulting in ZSC equal to Z0 J tan beta L. ZOC is minus Z0 J cot beta L. Also note, shorted line has same impedance as opened line when their lengths differ by lambda by 4. What does it mean? It means ZSC, SC line is there, its input impedance when the length is L plus or minus lambda by 4 is equal to ZOC, whose length is L. Lengthwise they differ lambda by 4. One is SC, another is OC. Short circuited line, open circuited line. They both have same impedances. How? Proof is given here. This can, ZSC is J Z0 tan beta L plus lambda by 4. You see here ZSC is Z0 J tan beta L. When L equal to L plus or minus lambda by 4, then L here has to be replaced by L plus or minus lambda by 4. It means minus J Z0 cot beta L, which is line's impedance when it is under open circuit. Line impedance, line admittance, line input impedance, line input admittance. Their expressions are shown here. Input impedance, input admittance. General line alpha plus J beta, lossless line gamma is simply J beta. This is input impedance, general expression. This is normalized impedance. This is for lossless line, ordinary input impedance, normalized impedance. This is general line, admittance for ordinary line, and this is normalized. For lossless line, this is general expression. This is one involving normalized admittance. Now we move to the actual topic of the present session. We plan to consider 3 line sections. First one is 8th wave line. 8th wave lines are uniform and lossless lines with a real characteristic impedance Z0 equal to R0 with the length equal to lambda by 8. When the line is lossless line, naturally characteristic impedance is real and there is no great thing about it. Basically, 8th wave line is a uniform lossless line whose length is lambda by 8. Lines with additional length of integer times half wavelengths also behave like 8th wave lines. Hence, lambda by 8 is minimum length and the general length of 8th wave line is lambda by 8 plus n lambda by 2, where n is 0, 1, 2, etc. Here is 8th wave line is shown. Length is lambda by 8. When termination is, of course, this is a lossless line, therefore characteristic impedance is real, usually indicated by R0. It is terminated over certain real impedance equal to RL. In such case, he says calculation. We have expressions for input impedance of line sections. Using that expression, you can find out input impedance Zin for this section as R0. Where is R0? That is characteristic impedance. RL, it is RL plus J R0. This is R0 by R0 plus J RL. This is an important property. This property is used in certain applications. We discuss about it further. The magnitude of the input impedance becomes equal to Ci of the line when termination is over pure resistance. Zin can be found equal to R0, RL plus J R0 by R0 plus JRL. Now this is complex. What is its magnitude? Its magnitude is simply R0. So this is an important property. 8th wave line, when terminated over a pure real impedance, its input impedance is equal to characteristic impedance. An 8th wave line can be used to transform any resistance into an impedance whose magnitude is equal to Ci of the line. This is the application. It is used to obtain a magnitude match between a load resistance of arbitrary value and a source of internal resistance equal to R0. See, the observations which we made when termination is pure real, input impedance is characteristic impedance. That observation can be put to practical use. How to obtain a magnitude match between load resistance of arbitrary value and a source of internal resistance equal to R0. Now come to quarter wave line. These are uniform lossless lines. Again, uniform lossless lines. Therefore, their characteristic impedance is real. Their lengths are lambda by 4 plus n lambda by 2. N is 0, 1, 2, etc. So basically, these are lines whose length is lambda by 4. The input impedance of these lines is inversely proportional to terminating impedance. This is an important property. The normalized input impedance is equal to normalized load admittance. Z in when length is lambda by 4 is Z0 square. This is characteristic impedance of the line. This is load impedance. What does it mean? Here is a line. Length is lambda by 4 or lambda by 4 plus n lambda by 2. It doesn't matter. Now, what is its input impedance? Its input impedance is, let us suppose Z0 is characteristic impedance. Terminating impedance is ZL. Zin is Z0 square by ZL. In other words, Z0 is characteristic impedance of this line is related to impedances over its both ends, impedances of its ends. That is, Z0 is square root of Zin and ZL. So this is an important relation. We can find its use in several places. Of course, this can also be put in this form. This relation Zin equal to Z0 square by ZL, it can be remembered in this way. That is, characteristic impedance is the square root of impedances at both the ends, product of impedances at both ends. That is one relation which you find using several times. That is one aspect. Another aspect is worth remembering is normalized input impedance is equal to normalized load impedance as far as this quarter wave line is concerned. Normalized input impedance is equal to normalized load admittance. So here is shown quarter wave line. Zin, as already seen, it is Z0 square by ZL. This is ZL, length is lambda by 4, Z0 is R0 because this is a lossless line, this is load end. Some important information regarding quarter wave lines. Quarter wave section acts as an impedance transformer or inverter. What does it mean? The input impedance is large when terminal impedance is small and vice versa. Inverter, it inverts the impedance, magnitude wise as well as quality wise also. You are going to see. If terminating impedance is large, input impedance is small. If terminating impedance is small, input impedance becomes large. He is telling input impedance is large when terminal impedance is small and vice versa. Large pure resistance termination gets transformed into small pure resistance and vice versa. So large resistance into small into large. Input impedance is pure inductive if termination is pure capacitive and vice versa. If termination is pure inductive, input impedance becomes pure capacitive. That's also there. If the input impedance consists of a resistance in series with an inductive reactance, the input impedance is a resistance in parallel with a capacitive reactance and vice versa. That's why it inverts. It inverts large to small, small to large. It also transforms. Transforming means capacitive to inductor, inductive to capacitive. An ideal quarter wave length line L equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 4 is supposed to exhibit ideal one, an input impedance of infinite on short circuit and 0 on open circuit. However, infinite and zero impedances are not achievable in practice, and what that appears is an input impedance of large value, not infinite, large on short circuit and small value on open circuit. Now those impedances they are estimated here. Short circuited quarter wavelength line, for this case, the input impedance is this one. Actually, when a quarter wavelength line is shorted, what should be the impedance? It should be infinity. He is telling it cannot be infinity because infinity doesn't exist in reality. In practice, what we have is large. What is that large? How much is it? It is this one. R0, characteristic impedance, alpha, attenuation constant, L is length of the line. This is resistive. Impedance maximum and highest value is possible when L is least, that is L equal to lambda by 4. The nature of this line section can be found to similar to that of anti-resonant circuit near resonance. Input impedance of an open circuited quarter wave line. Ideal situation is when here it is open circuit, here it must be short circuit. But short circuit is not achievable. So small amount of impedance appears here. How much? That is given here. ZOC is R0, characteristic impedance of the line, alpha attenuation constant, of the line, L is length. This is resistive. Impedance minimum and lowest value is possible when L is least. L is lambda by 4. See here we started with assuming L equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 4. When L equal to lambda by 4, length becomes small. Therefore, ZOC becomes very small. The behavior of this line section can be found to be similar to that of a series resonant circuit. When frequency is varied near its resonance. It can also be used to step up the voltage. As long as it is lossless, the ratio between output and input voltage is just square root of ratio of output to input impedances that are being matched. So to step up the voltage. Suppose small voltage is there, you want to have some larger voltage. This is useful. One or two applications of quarter wave lines, they are shown here. It's a line, this is one conductor, it is another conductor, and my interest is in simulating a open circuit between these two. For that purpose, what they do is a quarter wave transformer is connected lines. One end it is short circuit, therefore an open circuit appears here. Similarly, I want to create an open circuit at the terminals. So a quarter wave transformer is placed like this. So now here what we have is open circuit. Here open circuit is there. This is generator. It is generator. The power is supplied from the antenna to the, it is line to generator. So generator supplies the signal to antenna to get radiated. Important applications include impedance transformer inverter to step up or to step down the impedance. Also to step up voltage, load matching purpose it is used. Another application of SC quarter wave line is as an insulator to support an overwire line or center of conductor of a coaxial line. This application makes use of the fact that input impedance of quarter wave line shorted is very high. Already shown this aspect. Now we come to half wave lines. Half wave lines are lossless lines whose length is half wave length long. Eighth wave line means length is lambda by 8. Quarter wave means length is lambda by 4. Half means length is lambda by 2. It is mentioned here n lambda by 2 where n is 1, 2, 3 etc. Input impedance of these lines is equal to the terminating impedance. This property is independent of characteristic impedance Z0 but frequency dependent. So what he is trying to tell is in case of half wave line, the input impedance is same as the terminating impedance. This is an important property. Here is shown. Input impedance is ZL. How we are getting this input impedance expressions? We are using the input impedance relations which were introduced to you in the beginning of the session. Using those expressions, one can easily find out what is input impedance of half wave line, input impedance of quarter wave line, input impedance of eighth wave line. An ideal half wavelength line is supposed to exhibit an input impedance of 0 on short circuit and infinite on open circuit, but 0, infinity, they are actually good, very good over piece of paper, but in reality, no, they don't exist. In reality, truly lossless lines are not available and hence 0 and infinite impedances are not achievable. In practice, what that appears is an input impedance of small on short circuit and large on open circuit. Short circuited half wavelength line, its input impedance is given by this formula. ZSC R0 is characteristic impedance of the line, alpha is attenuation constant, the line L is length of the line. This is resistive impedance minimum and lowest value is possible when L is lambda by 2. The performance of this line section can be found similar to that of a series resonant circuit near resonance. Similarly, open circuited half wavelength line L equal to n lambda by 2, input impedance is R0 by alpha L. All these symbols, they have their usual meaning. This is resistive impedance maximum. This is maximum, resistive impedance maximum. Highest value is possible when L is smallest possible, that is lambda by 2. The behavior of this line section can be found similar to that of parallel resonant circuit when frequency is varied near its resonance. Important applications of half wave lines include greatest utility in connecting a load to a source in situations where load and source cannot be placed adjacent to each other. The short circuited lambda by 2 line can act as a band stop filter. It can be used to measure velocity factor and dielectric constant of the medium. Half wave line is also used to measure impedance that is not accessible physically. In length, half wave line is twice that of quarter wave line and 4 times that of eighth wave line. Hence, an eighth wave line acts as a quarter wave line when frequency is doubled, a half wave line when frequency is quadrupled. These are some of the points which I want to share regarding the line sections.